us. All right, how you been?
I've been really good, really good. I think I popped in here after paternity leave. Have I not been here since paternity? I think it was once before.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, all's well.
All's well?
Yeah, just kind of a cloudy, crummy morning.
Yeah.
Never really do that.
Yeah,
but
it's all right.
what if I told you that those clouds were actually one of the most breathtaking things you've ever seen to our east in Anson County?
We believe you.
Okay, so I want to show you something that I usually don't have to show you 3 different versions of one camera in only a few hours. All right, so number 1, this is right now. Now, the problem with the cloud cover is it blocked one of my favorite things that I like to broadcast in the morning is a rocket launch. And if you look really closely, here on the right side of your screen, that was the Falcon 9, another SpaceX rocket launch happened at 5:10. Now, I knew the clouds weren't going to be great, but if you look really closely, this is on a loop, that there's just enough night sky above that it goes just above the clouds that I was able to capture it ever so slightly. Dallas was way too cloudy. Clouds just broke just enough that we were able to see it. So sadly, we couldn't see it at the ground, but a really cool spectacle. I always get overly jazzed. I'm your hype man anyways, but when I get to see one of these live, it's super cool.
What time was that?
That was, so this specifically was probably about 5:15, 5:17 in that range. Because the way it works is the rocket launch was at 5:10 on the dot. You know, they're to the second over at Cape Canaveral, but it's usually up in the air for about 8 to 9 minutes. We visibly see it here for about 7 minutes in the Charlotte area. And the crazy thing is it's out in the middle of the Atlantic, and that's how bright it is that we're able to see it. Now check this out. Also, since I had this left on our Anson camera, when you have a tremendous amount of moisture at the surface, it can lead to some of the most breathtaking sunrises and sunsets. So this is a time lapse that you're about to see that was about 10 minutes before the sun rose up.
Wow.
And if you look closely, how you can see the sun change, and then you can see a little teeny orb that rises up. So let's rewind that. This is where it hits. Look at that. Right?
We both gasped.
Like
Lion King.
yeah, I feel like us. Or like there's a trending sound. It's like, oh yeah, like pretty much the most heavenly thing you've ever seen. But how cool was it to really just show the change in the atmosphere that we were able to capture a rocket this breathtaking of a sunrise on what otherwise has been a cloudy day?
I mean, yeah, that is an eventful, beautiful morning.
Now, talk about optimism, right? Yeah, it's cloudy, and it's like, well, you can always find some good in even the cloudiest and rainiest day.
Nice.
I've been messing around with some data, and I have really leached on to Lake Norman as far as the water temperatures go. Megan Bragg did a great piece right now. She interviewed this wonderful meteorologist whose name is escaping me. It was me. But no, she was talking about how warm Lake Norman is. Has anyone here jumped into Lake Norman?
No, but I've heard.
We were listening to it, and I was telling Carlene, I was like, oh my gosh, I
It's
can't
soup.
believe how much warmer it is than the others. I am not going to be jumping into that lake anytime
No.
soon.
Campbell's chicken noodle. Over
Yeah, and it is, because right now it's 72 degrees air temperature wise, and then it's 83.3 in the morning. And I was looking at July 9th of last week. The average temperature, including the low for the morning, was 90 degrees. That means it got up to 94 at one point during the day. If you do the same reading in Lake Wylie, I don't have that data that automatically pops up, it's 72. So Lake Wylie matches the air temperature a little bit better. Even when you're in the 90s, they're still in the 80s. It's a little bit better. But yeah, just really wanted to kind of back up Megan's cool story about how soupy it really is. It's 73, just a degree warmer down in Charlotte. That data is coming from Charlotte Douglas International Airport. 69 around Hickory, and then 63 in Boone. Temperatures haven't moved much because there's nothing to drive up temperatures. We need the sun, but those clouds are so stubborn in the lower atmosphere. We barely had any rain this morning. It's about 3/100ths of an inch. We are anticipating a few light rain showers, some mist, some drizzle, some sprinkles. So pretty much the quad squad of light rain showers. Not everyone will see them, but I'm just letting you know that is going to be a potential. And you're going to give up hope. You're going to be like, the sun's, I guess, just going to come out tomorrow. Tomorrow there'll be sun. But no, I'm letting you know for the afternoon, it is going to get much, much better. We should have a little bit more sunshine. Kim hates when I do this because I broadcast where we go. Not because we don't want to meet people. It's just that we're blowing our cover spot. We're going to Carowinds today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And the reason why, for you Impact News watchers, is my favorite forecast to
Okay.
go to the Carowinds or any amusement park is where it's kind of crummy in the morning because people think it's going to rain most of the day because their weather apps are terrible and they think that they're right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have me that's going to say it's going to get better. So always go, especially when you have like a line of thunderstorms in the morning, people aren't going to be there. So that
Right.
means by the time it clears out and people realize, wow, it's going to be a great day, you've already been first in line on
Yeah,
the
no
roller
line.
coasters.
Go.
Mhm.
That's the
right.
key.
Tricks of the trade, y'all. I'm not just here for temperatures, I'm here for life advice. Tomorrow, we are expecting a lot more sunshine that's going to develop, and that's going to allow for a big crank up in our temperatures. So today, high of about 86. If the sun comes out earlier, so say if all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, the clouds are going to break up by like say noon, we are going to exceed my expectations and we'll be in the upper 80s. It'll be still a humid batch, but if 86 hits, and I think that's more likely, we are anticipating a real feel close to about 90 degrees, but then we're going to change things as we work our way through the week. Not how we feel, we're just going to feel hotter, but we're constantly bouncing in that humid to air you can wear to yikes status as far as the moisture in the air. The more moisture in the air, the better the storm chance. The more moisture in the air, the more uncomfortable you're going to feel. So that's going to be the big change that we have here. Over here in Myrtle Beach, it'll be a little bit cooler considering they just went through an epic heat wave, but all of us are going to come together for a much, much hotter temperature a little bit later on in the week where temperatures are going to be trending all over the place. So let's get right to that. So our 10-day forecast is actually stretching up to the upper 90s by the back end of the week. So we have 97 on Thursday, we have 98 on Friday, but at that point we're starting to see a few more pop-up showers and storms, and then it's more likely that we're going to have rain on Saturday where we have mid to late afternoon. It's kind of that usual July-like pattern that storms pop up pretty much on their own fruition. More can jog and can join into the evening. We have that same forecast for your Sunday, and then we have the lower 90s on Monday. I do think there is a chance that we could drop down to the upper 80s by the end of the week, still staying really hot and steamy, but our average for this time of year is 91, so you do at least see some at least normal to below normal temperatures. Even though we are going to see that big time warm up to the upper 90s, it's a lot more short-lived than the last big heat wave. Technically, it's not going to be a heat wave because a heat wave is categorized as 3 days or more at unseasonable high temperatures. Some offices will have certain temperatures that they hit, like say up in Ohio, it's 3 days of 90 plus that don't typically hit that, or Michigan, same thing goes up in New England as well. But for us, it's usually the upper 90s, 3 days or more that it's unseasonably warm. So just letting you know, we're going to have that status. As far as our jet stream pattern goes, I want to mention this is that another heat dome settles in. That's the whole reason why we're going to have this type of uptick in temperatures. But eventually it's going to start to succeed off towards the west, and that is going to allow for storms to roll around it. They're called Ridge Riders or the Ring of Fire if you're a Johnny Cash fan. And it literally just goes around in a clockwise fashion and supports storm development. So that's why we have more storms into the weekend. Just kind of keep that in mind. So a lot of questions have been said, oh man, I feel like it only rains during the weekends. Well, that's how we started off the year, and we are kind of getting back into that pattern. But it's also July that it could rain Monday through Sunday, just depending if you get a pop-up storm or not.
Then the lake will heat up even more.
Oh, yeah. No, like, again, the data for when we were closer to 100 degrees, I think we spiked to 95 for the lake temperature.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's 100, and you jump into 95-degree water.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Not going to do that.
No, it's not great.
Sounds like a cesspool.
So how have you guys been?
Pretty good.
Doing well.
Been hanging
Pretty
out
good?
here.
Good?
Yeah. Just came
doing
off
the
vacation.
news. Yeah.
Oh, where were you guys on vacation?
Florida.
Florida. Oh yeah. We were
both
both
went to
in Florida.
Florida.
You, but at first, a second, I was just like, I shouldn't have asked that because you're two different people, but you want
We both
different
went-
parts
went
of
to
Florida?
different parts of Florida.
Yeah.
Were you Miami?
I was Miami
Okay.
for a moment.
I went to New Smyrna.
Where's
which is like
Northern?
past Daytona before Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I went to Mazatlan. Tell me you know where Mazatlan is.
Man. I
You
know.
millennials.
I'm disappointed.
Ugh.
Where is this? what is this?
It's in Mexico,
Oh.
but it's like it's on the mainland.
Okay.
Across the Sea of Cortez from the peninsula.
Okay.
Cabo. So it's kind of on that same
Okay.
latitude. But it used to be a thing.
The spot.
Not the spot,
But a spot.
but a spot like
Yeah.
cruise ships. I think
See, for
still.
me, it's only been Cozumel and Playa del Carmen.
I love both.
Playa del Maria I've been to. It's a little bit further south. It was more desolate. It's grown since I've last been. Yeah, to be honest with you, I guess I don't really know too much
West.
past the extreme, most popular Yucatan spots.
Yeah, I mean it's north of Puerto Vallarta. There's there's like Mazatlan, Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta. So that
Yeah,
kind of
see,
stretch.
I'm totally named millennial places,
Yeah.
and I'm usually really good with map and locations, but I get
that's what I was
I guess they're
thinking,
usually
too.
covered up by like a hurricane or something like that, and focusing on the
Yeah,
ship.
but the Love Boat, the Princess Cruise Line. I don't know if it still goes there, but that used to be kind of a thing. That's how I remember Mazatlan.
Like the Love Boat, the TV show.
the TV show.
Oh, okay. See, I know what you're talking about. See, look at that.
Mazatlan.
Outside of my millennial jurisdiction.
Yeah, but I love. I got married in Playa del Carmen, so
Oh wow, really?
little destinacion.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wedding, yeah.
We got married in Charlotte.